Day number 10 of Chicago Bears training camp is in the books, and we have a lot of stuff to discuss. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears training camp update video, which I'll be giving you guys every single day this year during training camp. So if you guys want all the latest updates on what's happening with the Chicago Bears in training camp, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. Today was supposed to be open to the public, but it got rained out, unfortunately. Okay, it was raining super hard this morning. The weather was not cooperating, so they moved practice inside into the Walter Payton Center, and fans weren't allowed there, which really does suck, okay, because I know a lot of people must have driven from far away, and you know, at the last second they're told that practice is canceled. So it really sucks for those people, but media members were allowed there. So we do have a bunch of reports to talk about. It was a 90-minute practice, again, inside, no pads on today. So it was kind of like a lighter workload today for a lot of the Bears players after 2 days of very intense physical practices, which is, you know, I'm sure that was welcomed by a lot of the Bears players, right? Because there's a lot of injuries happening on our team right now. If I read you guys a list of all the players that did not practice today, so it was Kyler Gordon, N'Keal Harry, Velus Jones, Byron Pringle, Duke Shelley, Tavon Young, Thomas Graham, Noah Dawkins, Al-Quadin Mohammed, Lucas Patrick, Julian Davenport, James O'Shaughnessy, Dante Pettis, Angelo Blackson. That is an extremely long list of players not practicing, which sucks to see, okay? You never want to see players getting injured in training camp. It happens every single year, though. Can't really do anything about it. And obviously, Roquan Smith is not practicing due to his contract dispute that is still going on right now, which hopefully will get resolved relatively soon, guys, because I don't want this to drag into the regular season. That would absolutely suck if he had to miss any regular season games because of this contract dispute, but I don't think that will happen. I'm pretty sure they will get a deal done before week 1. And then also another injury update, guys, on N'Keal Harry. So I talked about N'Keal Harry was out for today's practice. Well, it was actually reported that he suffered a pretty severe ankle injury yesterday, and he's actually awaiting further evaluation and hoping for the best, but not good news, guys, for N'Keal Harry. He could be out for anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks if it is indeed a severe ankle injury, in which case he might not even make the Bears roster, okay? They could put him on IR, I guess, and then take him out of IR whenever he's ready, but he needs these reps to prove himself, guys. I mean, he hasn't done much of anything in camp so far. Like, he hasn't shined in the way that Equanimeous St. Brown has, and Equanimeous St. Brown is he's kind of going to be playing the same role that N'Keal Harry will play on this team, okay? That tall, big body ex-receiver that can go down the field and, you know, aggressive catch over DBs with his height, use his physicality to his advantage. I mean, if that's already taken by Equanimeous St. Brown, where is N'Keal Harry's value on this team? I still think there is a chance he could make the roster just because we did trade a 7th-round pick for him. I know it's only a 7th-round pick in like 2 years. It's not that much, but maybe because of that and maybe because of the potential they think he still has, he could make the roster, but that would probably be on IR, and even then, no guarantee he gets any playing time for the Chicago Bears this season. So, brutal situation, guys. Sucks to see this for a player that was trying to revive his career with the Chicago Bears, get a second opportunity here, but we'll see what happens going forward, guys. Hopefully, you know, gets back to full health and proves the people, you know, proves all the doubters wrong, because he's going to have a lot of work to do if he is to come back and play for the Chicago Bears. But getting to what happened in practice today then, guys. So there weren't too many individual reports or tweets that I could find because, again, when practice is closed, media members can't tweet too much about what happened. But I did find a really good article by Josh Schrock, again, which I'll link down below in the description. Give this article a read, guys. He has a lot of information in it that I won't cover all of it, obviously, in this video, but go read the article down below. But I will go over some of the highlights of his article. And one of the biggest things he talked about was that Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense had a pretty good day, specifically in the red zone, okay? They did a lot of red zone work today, trying to get the ball into the end zone, working on different red zone plays that Getsy has been designing over the offseason, and they had a lot of success, guys, going up against our defense, okay? So in his article, guys, he talks about how after David Montgomery scored on each of his first 2 carries, so good for David Montgomery, Justin Fields evaded the rush, moved to the left, and threw a strike to Equanimeous St. Brown in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. That ability to extend the play and make something out of nothing was another example of why Fields has the Bears excited about the year 2 leap that they believe is coming. Later on, he said that 2 plays later, Fields rolled to his right and zipped a pass to St. Brown again at the pylon for another score. For all the Bears' early offensive issues in camp, they have fared well in the red zone, where they ranked 30th in touchdown percentage last season. I'm glad that he brought up that the Chicago Bears offense absolutely sucked last year in the red zone, because that was one of many reasons why we couldn't score points last year, okay? We had so many penalties in the red zone, so many incomplete passes, so many plays going backwards that, you know, limited how many points we scored, and it was just such a horrible offense here in Chicago, obviously the last 4 years, because we had basically no efficient red zone offense. So good to see that's working a lot so far in camp. Again, you can't take anything away until preseason games or even until the regular season, right? Because all of this is not really real football. When week 1 starts, that will be real football. That's when we will really be tested. So I'm not crowning them just yet, but it's good to see, progress from the Chicago Bears offense. And also good to see, Equanimeous St. Brown again, man, catching multiple touchdowns. Okay, this guy has caught a lot of touchdowns now during his time in training camp. He's building a strong connection with Justin Fields, and at this point, I would not be surprised if he is a starting receiver week 1 against San Francisco, because then you would have, Darnell Mooney, wide receiver number 1, Equanimeous St. Brown, probably number 2, the X, whatever you want to call it, and then Byron Pringle, number 3, maybe Velus, number 3, like let them battle it out for number 3. Byron Pringle might not even be healthy by then, so it might be Velus, but I'm telling you guys, I mean, it could be a little bit better than people are projecting it to be, talking about our wide receiver core. It's still not full of like superstars or proven guys, but with the right scheming, with the right quarterback play, they could be doing something this year, okay? Not as bad, hopefully, as last year. So good to see success, guys, for the Chicago Bears offense. I also want to talk about a really nice pass that Justin Fields had to Tajay Sharp, okay? So because we had so many wide receiver injuries, Tajay Sharp, who was a signing that we had this offseason, a lower level signing, it was only a 1-year deal. He got a lot of opportunities today with the first team offense, and Justin Fields threw a really nice pass to him in the back corner of the end zone, which I'll put on the screen right now. You guys can see it's actually a pretty nice pass from QB1. Okay, his feet are not set here, so he's on the move, and he delivers a very nice, accurate pass right in the hands of Tajay Sharp on time. Made the correct read here, and you love everything about this play, okay? You hope to see more of this in the Chicago Bears offense this year, taking advantage of Justin Fields' ability to throw on the run and play freely, play loose, okay? Not have everything be so scripted. And if that scripted play breaks down, there's nothing else to go to. That was what the Matt Nagy offense was last year. Scripted plays that never worked, and there was nothing beyond those scripted plays. This year, they're doing a lot of stuff beyond just the scripted stuff, guys. I mean, Darnell Mooney yesterday talked about how they're doing scramble drills for the first time together, okay? They never did scramble drills at all under Matt Nagy, which is absolutely ridiculous given the fact that you have a very athletic quarterback that runs a 4.4. Like, this guy can extend plays, and you did not take advantage of his ability to extend plays last year. We had receivers stopping on routes as soon as the play broke down. So I love to see that Luke Getsy is changing the habits of the Chicago Bears offense, because there was a lot of bad habits that they had to get rid of from the Nagy regime. So that's Justin Fields, guys, and the offense looked pretty good. I do want to talk more in detail about Tevin Jenkins, though, because like I mentioned yesterday, guys, he returned to practice, and he's fully practicing now, okay? So yesterday he was only in individual drills. Today he was fully practicing in the team drills. Nicholas Moriano tweeted that before stretching, Tevin Jenkins lined up with the third team at right guard. In team, he was at right tackle with the third unit. He made a nice block on the edge versus the DB. Number 21, Evans, scored a touchdown. He also was at right tackle with this group. Left tackle, Larry Borum. Left guard, Mustafer. Center, Doug Kramer. Right guard, Schofield. And Fields was the quarterback. So it looks like Justin Fields played both with the first team and the second team offensive line, which I love to see that, right? Because you don't know who the starting offensive line is going to be at this point. You're kind of trying to see who's going to be the starters, who is going to be the best 5. So you're giving everybody some opportunities. And Justin Fields did get some playing time with Tevin Jenkins, which is pretty big, because Tevin Jenkins, guys, still doesn't have a chance to win this right tackle job. I know that he's getting into it pretty late, this late in camp, but it's still kind of early, to be honest, right? Like, there's still a lot of weeks until week 1, and anything could happen in those weeks. And I honestly think that Tevin Jenkins is the most talented offensive lineman that we have. From a pure talent perspective, this guy was really good at the college football level, and he has the highest potential out of any of these guys, I would say. So I'm really hoping for him to win a job, whether it be at right guard, like he took some snaps at right guard today, or right tackle. I don't really care, but put him somewhere on the slant, because he's too valuable to just waste like that. So he had a pretty good day blocking. Like Moriano stated, he had a pretty nice block on an outside zone play where he blocked for Darrington Evans, and he scored a touchdown, and the Darrington Evans dapped him up and also thanked him on Twitter for blocking well for him. So that was a pretty nice moment to see. And obviously this is going up against the third team defense, so it's not against the best of the best competition, but Tevin Jenkins should be dominating against third team defense, and he looked pretty good out there today according to reports. So that's good to hear, guys. If he wants to climb up the depth chart, he's gonna have to be on top of his game for the next 5 weeks, okay? Performing better than Larry Borum, than Riley Reef, whoever else is going to be competing with him. He has to be better than those guys to earn a starting spot. He's not going to be handed a starting spot, because this regime has made it clear that nobody's handed a starting spot based on draft position, from contract value or anything. Okay, that does not matter to this regime. But I hope that Tevin Jenkins does get a starting spot. I want to end the video then by talking about the defense a little bit, because I haven't talked about the defense yet in this video. Again, this is from the article from Josh Schrock, which is linked down below. But he said that on first down, Justin Jones smoked Cody Whitehair and sacked Justin Fields for a loss of 10. Fields got those 10 yards back with a scramble on second down. Travis Gibson pressured him, but the play continued and Fields picked up 10 to set up 3rd and 10. Fields was again pressured immediately on 3rd down, this time by Robert Quinn, who blew past Braxton Jones. The staff let the offense play on once again, and Fields hit Nasimba Webster down the left sideline for a gain of 23. I'm crediting Quinn with a sack on the play and a win for the Chicago Bears defense. According to this article, guys, it seems like the Chicago Bears pass rush had themselves a hell of a day today, going up against the Bears' first team offensive line. Okay, Braxton Jones, he's been solid for most of camp. Today, he did have a moment where he got overwhelmed by Robert Quinn, which is to be expected, honestly. I mean, Robert Quinn has been playing in this league for how long? A lot longer than rookie tackle Braxton Jones. So that was a learning lesson for Braxton Jones. And also the rest of our first team offensive line did allow pressure today in practice. It seemed like Justin Fields was able to make up for that pressure with big plays, afterwards. So it didn't really harm the offense that much. But it's good, it's good to see the pass rush get something going against, the Chicago Bears offensive line and get multiple sacks like this, because defense also matters too, guys. I mean, I talk a lot about the offense. We all want to talk a lot about the offense, but this defense could be a reason why the Chicago Bears won't be a horrible team in 2022. Okay, the defense has the potential to still be a pretty fearsome unit, because we got guys here that can rush the passer, that can hold up in the back end. Jaquan Briscoe made another play on the ball today. He had a PBU, and he's been having a great camp. Like, I'm honestly not worried about Briscoe at all. I feel like he's going to be a stud here. Next to Eddie Jackson. Kyler Gordon hopefully gets back on the football field and performs better later on in camp. But, it's a lot of talented dudes, guys, in the Bears defense. And hopefully they lead the Chicago Bears to more victories than people are expecting them to. But that's pretty much all the reports I have for you guys today. The Bears will be off tomorrow for practice, but they'll be back on Tuesday for the Family Fest practice, which is going to be at Soldier Field. I'm sure some of you guys will be going there. So if you are going, I hope you have a lot of fun. I will have a recap video for that practice probably on Tuesday night, but if not, then I'll just include it with my Wednesday updates. But hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave your comments down below, and as always, bear down.